Hello and welcome to Theme Park Worldwide, where it's time for episode 8 of Let's Play Planet Coaster, the London Resort. Big episode this one, lots going to be happening, starting off with the construction of the High Street. This is the undercover entrance area and kind of main street that leads down to all the other themed areas at the London Resort. Now, as we've seen from various concept art, pretty much since 10 years ago when this project was first announced, what we can see from the High Street area is that it's all undercover. It's got this large glass dome over. To be honest, that's something that with all these concepts have tended to stay the same ever since the beginning, really. We've always seen some kind of covering over this, and the more recent concepts from the end of 2021 show it in detail, and that of course is the concept that I'm basing this whole park off. So yeah, that is what I'm going with here, and as you can see, we've got the kind of structure in already. I did that back in episode 1, and yeah, as you can see, we're actually putting the buildings in down either side. So to start off on the left hand side of the entrance street, I put in all the buildings, kind of a few different facades for restaurants, shops, facilities, and then yeah, I've just cloned it, spun it round to this other side, but I'm actually going to be doing some other changes, like different roofs on there. You know, there's reasons why I didn't clone it exactly over to the other side, because yeah, you know, I want to make sure that it does look different as well when it's all put together. So yeah, then later in the episode, I'm going to be, of course, revealing the names that I've picked for the 4 rides in the Starport themed area before doing the infrastructure for the final 2 areas of the park. So yeah, lots to look forward to. But yeah, as you can see, with this undercover area, I want to make sure that we're utilising all the space well. We're going for some nice seating down the middle there, some nice planting as well, as you've just seen there, with the tubs that we've put all the way down. And then of course we need to make sure that we've got lots of different facilities, whether that be eating and drinking establishments, cash machines, arcades, first aid stands, all that kind of stuff, and also staff buildings as well. So that is what's going into all of these buildings on either side. Now, what I really do love about the whole kind of concept for the London Resort is how they'd have this big undercover area, because, you know, I've been saying for years now, I mention it in vlogs on a regular basis, mainly when the weather's quite poor, but yeah, I do mention how what we really need here in the UK is an indoor theme park. And as much as the London Resort wouldn't be a full indoor theme park, what it would offer is indoor areas, and that's what I really like about this whole kind of High Street entrance area, literally called the High Street. I do find it quite funny, it's so British that, isn't it? But yeah, that's the name what they're stating for this one. So yeah, we'll kind of put all the covering on there in a few minutes time after putting in some more of the details here on all of these buildings. So yeah, as you can see, we've got information stands going in there, lots of different shops, and yeah, the facades, you know, look quite nice. We're going with the kind of a British style high street all the way down. It's very hard to see what's actually underneath the glass dome in the concept, because obviously all we really see is the outside of it. Now, obviously I can just see what looks to be a street in the concept, so I thought let's kind of go with that. It is called High Street after all, and yeah, that's what I'm building underneath. So yeah, I got lots of restaurants, and the beauty is, yes, they're all having roofs on anyway. Technically they wouldn't need these roofs on because it's going to be under a big glass cover. However, it's just more for the aesthetic of it. I think it looks better putting the roofs on instead of just leaving it all flat, and they're all kind of different themed buildings and restaurants, you know. That's exactly what I wanted to do. It's a bit like if you go inside the O2 Arena, the Millennium Dome, when the roof's not blown off anyway, like it did last week. But yeah, you go in there, there's all sorts of shops and restaurants. You know, it kind of looks like, oh, it could be outside, but yes, it's got the big roof over. That's kind of the style that I'm going for with the high streets here at the London Resort. So yeah, that's all coming together nicely. Obviously, we're going to have lots of quick service food and drink options. That's what I'm putting in just there. When I say quick service, you know, not sit-down restaurants, just you can queue up, get some quick food. That's, you know, what I like when I go to a theme park more than anything. So yeah, making sure we put those in. But there's also going to be some nice restaurants. That building there, in fact, is going to be a high-end restaurant. And something that I did want to talk about was the rest of the resort, because in that concept art that was released at the end of last year, there's been no mention of the water park or any hotels for quite a while now. And of course, I'm sure they're still in the plans, definitely the hotels, but we don't know really enough about them. So, you know, I'm not going to be adding in hotels or the water park. I know there's been a few comments asking me if I'm going to. The answer is no, and mainly because I don't know the exact details of what they're going to be. You know, yes, we've got not loads of details about the theme park really, and it keeps changing. However, there's a lot more known about the parks than there is the water park and hotels. Plus Planet Coaster, you can't really do a proper water park. We could make one that looks like it, but it doesn't function as one, but it's not really as fun then, is it, if guests can't enjoy it? And the hotels, we know a couple more details than we do the water park about hotels. However, again, you know, we don't know loads of stuff. Another reason is because we're nearly getting round to a whole host of brand new vlogs that are going to be coming on the channel. Literally from next week, I'm going to be out in Florida. Crazy to say that. So yeah, you know, I'm going to have no time for Planet Coaster when the parks reopen and I'm on trips and stuff. It's big stuff happening. So I want to really crack on with this park and kind of wrap it up in a few episodes time, you know. So that's another reason for not kind of expanding on it more. May come back to it in the future though. That'd be quite cool, especially if the park does actually get built. Can you imagine? Come back to this and then make the edits that I need to. God, that would be crazy, wouldn't it? I've already had a lot of people saying, Sean, you should be on the design team for the London Resort. As much as that would be amazing, I don't want to be committed to one park. You know, I'd much rather do what I do now, kind of, you know, go around as many parks and attractions, review, share my thoughts, give them hints and tips. I don't mind if the London Resort want to take a few of my ideas and implement them. I'd really actually appreciate that. You know, it would be great, because I know for a fact there's some people from the London Resort that have been watching this series, which I do find quite crazy. So yeah, hi out there to you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if it's giving you some ideas, then yeah, and it's inspiring the park, go for it. I don't mind, you know, that's what it's all about. But obviously when you've been to as many theme parks as I have, I like to think, you know, I know quite a bit about what to kind of expect from the parks and what kind of themes and stuff work. And that's what I've implemented with this. Yes, looking at the concepts and renderings that have been officially released, but also combining that with all of my ideas and kind of inspiration as well. Got a nice arcade going in. Don't normally put arcades in because I've always said that if I had a park, I either wouldn't have them or they'd have to be very tastefully done. But again, you know, with this park, it's not really based on my things, is it? You know, so I'm going with an arcade because it's a British park. I definitely think it would have arcades within it, you know, as much as I'd like to see them heavily themed. I tell you what though, now all these facades are coming together in the high streets, I think it's looking good. Like, I'm really, really impressed. I never thought about putting a big roof over an entrance, but why not? You know, I like the idea of a full indoor park, but just doing the entrance I'd never really considered. But then I look at a few other parks out there in the world, such as the new Universal Studios Beijing. That's got a big undercover area, which I quite like, similar to this. And then also as well, a park that I went to back in 2017 was Tokyo Disneyland in Japan. Their whole entrance, their main street, or World Bazaar as it's known, that has actually got a big glass kind of structure over it as well. So it is something that is already out there at parks around the world. So I thought, wow, yeah, it could actually be done. You know, I was thinking, oh, the London Resort would make it unique. But then I was thinking about what other parks have done it. And yeah, it is something that's already out there. And here we go. This is that big kind of roof structure going into place. So yeah, I started, you know, way back in episode 1 with the structure, mainly because I just wanted to get an idea on the space that I had and work it all out, because that's the hardest thing with Planet Coaster. It's planning where your areas and rides are going to go, especially when you're working off some concept art that you've not designed, just to get the scale of everything. But you zoom out there, and I tell you what, I am really proud of the kind of scale and how I've done with that. I do think it looks to scale and how it would be size-wise, because it's really hard to do that, especially without any measurements. So yeah, we've put all the square section of the roof in. With Planet Coaster, it makes it hard to build big circular buildings like this. So yeah, I'm using all the square kind of glass panels there. And then, yeah, I'm going to be rotating them round. And then, as you can see, spinning around there and gradually filling in the gaps. Now, as much as it's not going to have a clean-cut finish, there's not really much I can do about that in the game. There's going to be bits overlapping. But, as you will see in the next couple of minutes, once this is all done, it actually looks really nice with like a bit of a pattern all the way round. So yeah, this glass structure didn't take as long as, I was originally thinking, because obviously you can just copy and paste bits and move things around, and it's all symmetrical. And that's what I'm doing just there. So yeah, as much as, we can't really do a big glass circular structure without it looking a bit messy, I thought this looked the best that it could do, and as you can see there, this only took 10 minutes in real time just to select the pieces, keep spinning it round there and utilising that. And that's the beauty of Planet Coaster and the design team behind the game. And then yeah, they really made it nice and easy to duplicate things and spin things around and make it look really good like that. So yeah, we've got this nice pattern in the glass roof there that I'm really pleased with. We're going to put some sides on there shortly as well, just putting the middle section in. So yeah, you're going to see me working on the sides in just a moment. But let's over the next couple of minutes then talk about some names, shall we? Thank you so much to everyone that commented names for the 4 rides that I needed. Obviously the Family Flat, the Thrill Flat, the Drop Tower and the Booster Bike, all in the Starport area. Got some great names, so I'm going to go through them now. Thank you to RM down in the comments for coming up with Eternal Supreme as the name for the booster bike. And here's the story. In the city of Starport, there are many vehicles, but none are as popular as rocket bikes. They are the fastest and smoothest modes of transport around. After the incredible company Eternal announces their new model, Eternal Supreme, they ask a group of lucky people to try it out, and you are one of them. Do you think it lives up to expectations after their last model, Eternal Hyperzoomer, or is it a fail? Make your decision. So there we go, brilliant name, Eternal Supreme, and fantastic storyline, really like that. Thank you to RM for that one. Just going back to what I'm doing here actually now, as you can see, I'm just putting all the structure around the edge there, just to finish off the glass roof before adding the sides. The drop tower then, in the Starport area, Shock Dog came up with a great name, Comet 317 or Comet 317, however you want to say it. I think 317 sounds better, to be honest. Watch your head. A dangerous comet called 317 has entered the atmosphere and is hurtling towards ground at an insane pace. Can you evade the dangerous comet in time to escape? So thank you to Shock Dog for that one. As you can see again, just working on the structure here in terms of putting the sides on, and also putting them beams all the way around as well for the doors. They're not going to be closed off doors or anything like that, but again, it's mostly to keep the rain out. This is a British park, and yeah, as you can see, we're going to extend the panels all the way down the side, copy and paste in, just to fill all of that in. Oh, nice and easy, I love it. Planet Coaster make it easy, don't they? Gone are the days of putting in tile by tile like we used to have to in Roller Coaster Tycoon. For the thrilling flat ride then, I've gone for Interstellar. For a couple of reasons. I think the name is brilliant, and also the YouTube user's name is brilliant too. Desposito Burrito. Like, how awesome is that? So thank you for that one. And for the family flat ride, we've gone for Cosmic Cluster, and that's from the Aesthetic EL 13. There we go. Aesthetic, sorry, EL 13. My pronunciation there, terrible. But thank you to the 4 of you for coming up with them absolutely awesome names. Eternal Supreme, Comet 317, Interstellar, and Cosmic Cluster. All of them absolutely fantastic names for the Starport area. Thanks, guys. And once again, just want to say thank you to everyone that took the time to comment with a name, storyline, suggestions, whatever they are. I really do appreciate it. Now, you can all have a day off with this one, because I'm not going to need any names in this episode, but I will be again very soon, so watch this space. And talking of that, I'm going to be moving on to the next couple of areas shortly, which is going to be very exciting. This is the main entrance to the park then, and this is off the concept, so I had to just kind of wing it with this. So yeah, put some hills around the side to block it in. We've got the 2 little pools just there as well, with a nice fountain inside, and then we're going to add a few bushes and shrubs all the way around. Obviously, we've got the entrance turnstiles. Want to make this look really kind of glamorous, and when you're walking up to it, you see this big modern building in front of you, housing the high street area. So yeah, we've gone for these nice trees. I don't normally use these ones, but they look perfect, so I thought they would fit really nice around the entrance. And also as well, I thought we'd put some nice planting all the way around there. Keep it quite a minimal entrance in terms of, you know, no big grand building or hotel or anything like that over the entrance. I've just gone with, you're seeing this big glass structure, and then it'll kind of tell the story, you know, when you make your way down the high street. You've got a lot of buildings there. We didn't need to add another one out the front. So let the glass dome, the glass building tell a story. kind of like a fantastic building that I really like, and that's the Eden Project down in Cornwall. Fantastic. If you've not already seen the vlog I've done on that, it's over on Adventure Shawn, the second channel from last summer. Go and check that out. Me and Mum and Dad had a great day there at the Eden Project, and that inspired me a bit with this to put some nice planting inside. So we've got these nice curly shrubs just here going in. Is that what we call them? Topiaries, that's it. Curly shrubs. What am I going on about? Topiaries going in. So I thought, let's have a nice kind of undercover garden down here at the end. We've already got loads of buildings, shops, restaurants and facilities. Let's go for an undercover garden. So yeah, that's what I've done here. Nicely inspired by the Eden Project. They've actually just approved, on that note, Eden Project North for Morecambe, which will be good. So yeah, I'll go and check that out when that opens in a few years' time. Maybe go and look at the construction of that, because that would make some great videos on Adventure Shawn. And talking of the second channel, if you haven't already, I'd love to see you over there. We've just hit 70,000 subscribers, so I really appreciate it. We're nearly on 300,000 subscribers on this channel, which is insane. So thank you so much. Honestly, me and Charlotte really appreciate it. There's not been loads of vlogs recently because, yeah, we've got so much coming up when the parks reopen. It's going to be very full on as we celebrate our 10th anniversary of the channel. So we're just kind of having a couple of weeks where it's been a bit slower now, waiting for the parks to open. I'm in Florida soon, next week, and of course wrapping up the Planet Coaster series over the next couple of weeks as well. Right then, that's the High Street done and dusted, and it's onto the right hand side of the park now, which is going to be slightly smaller than the left hand side, and it's going to be home to two different areas. Now obviously the concepts have changed so much for the London Resort ever since the start, but what they have kind of stuck with is 6 different areas. And obviously, you know, we've got 4 now in the park, so obviously, you know, we've got Starport. I keep wanting to say Spaceport, it's Starport. We've then got Base Camp, of course we've got the Kingdom, and then we've got High Street. So there's room for 2 more areas off to the right. One of them that we can clearly see from the concept art looks huge, and that is the studio. Now, yeah, it looks like lots of indoor attractions, restaurants, dark rides, maybe an indoor roller coaster. Who knows? So I'm going to have to do some guesswork with that one. Of course, there's loads of buildings there, so we're going to have to see with that one. I may possibly leave some of the buildings empty and just do the facades, meaning that, of course, if you do download the project in the workshop, then yeah, you'd be able to actually add some of your own attractions in, because, you know, it's going to be quite hard to kind of decide what to put in those, especially because we don't know the exact details. But I'll touch more on that in the next episode. Another area that we can see is what looks to be the Isles. Now, because of course originally there was plans for an area called the Woods as well, it looks like Base Camp replaced one of those, but the area that I can see, it looks more like it could be for the Isles, because when I say that word, I think of like a big kind of pirate ship and them kind of fantasy stories like that, and I can see a pirate ship in the concept art if you look closely. So yeah, that is what I'm going to actually add in. So I'm going to put in the Isles in that section between the Kingdom and the studios, and of course that'll bring up the 6 areas of the London Resort. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So yeah, of course, you know, you're going to see this whole kind of right hand side of the park come to life. We've got the area there that's going to have some fountains in. I will show you the actual concept art in a few minutes at the end of the episode, just so you can kind of see where we're going with this. But yeah, just building that berm in around the edge now, really just so I've got an idea on what to work with. This is one of the hardest things in the game, getting the space right, making sure that, you know, when you're trying to follow some concept art, that you're getting the scale right and everything's going to be good. So yeah, that is exactly what I've been doing here, just adding some trees around there now, around the edge, and just keep zooming out a lot, just so I can make sure the shape of it is how I want it. Because you've got to think, you know, realistically the water park would probably be down in this bottom right corner of the map, and maybe some of the hotels as well. So yeah, that's what I'm you know, not going to be adding in. So yeah, I wanted to make sure that I got the space right. But there you go, towards the end of the episode, let's have a look then firstly at the concept art just there. So yeah, if I zoom in from this kind of outward view, and you can see there the Isle, what looks to be at the top, and also the studios, which is a big area. There's a big water tower, we've got the fountain package. Yeah, you know, I'm going to really kind of fill some of them buildings with attractions and maybe leave some empty as for future expansion, you know, because they might even do that if the park really gets built. You know, just because all the facades and pathways are being doesn't necessarily mean that they'd actually put attractions in all of them straight away. And then of course, yeah, we've got the aisle area up there at the top as well to work with some nice outdoor sections. We've got a big ship that's going to go in, you can see there, and much more. So yeah, there we go. Here's a look at what I've done today with the high street. Really pleased with that. It's come together nicely, and I'll be back on Wednesday with another episode for you to all enjoy. I tell you what, we soon got through this series, but there's still a few more episodes to go, so stay tuned for those here as we continue to build the London resort on Theme Park Worldwide. I'll see you on Wednesday, and that leaves me with one final thing to say: get out there, keep on riding.